Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Sorry for the last minute addition here. I think this may have been mentioned earlier, the question about the disaster powers from the governor and the executive branch. I just want to pose this a little bit differently about your opinions as an executive about the need to be nimble, but also having these types of powers for prolonged periods of time if it's necessary. But specifically, since this is a budget hearing, I'm not looking for necessarily a political statement, but more of how this affects the budget, because those powers expire, my understanding, in April. There's another thing that's due April 1st called the state budget. And Albany has a tradition of putting a lot of different controversial things in the budget. As of right now, I don't see a proposal, but I wouldn't put it past anybody from all of that being put in the budget and we vote on it at 1 o'clock in the morning. And I'd like to hear from you as to what your thoughts are, not only on the governor's disaster powers, but also any discussion or debate about that should be independent from our state's budget.
I couldn't agree with that, and I appreciate that very much. Assembly member, I would say you said, you want a budget answer, not a political answer. I agree, but I do want to say something in a spirit of what we all wish for, which is bipartisanship. There's a bipartisan reality. I've talked to county executives around the state, mayors around the state. I know whether you're a town supervisor, a mayor, a county exec, whatever party you're in, wherever you are in the state, you know that government is best where it's closest to the people in terms of delivering actual services and making the adjustments to reality. And one of the things we found with COVID is the reality changes all the time. The facts, that what we know about the science, what kind of supply of vaccine, which vaccine we're using, it's an ever-changing reality. And what we need is simplicity, not multiple layers of government constantly changing rules. We need simplicity. Give us supply, and we, with broad ground rules, will get it to our people. We'll get the vaccine to the people who need it best. That example earlier, one of your colleagues raised about a center being only for essential workers when there's lots of seniors nearby that want to get vaccinated and that's the closest to them. That makes no sense. Any local leader would tell you, Democrat or Republican, if I got a center, I'm going to open up to everyone eligible because I want to make it simplest for people and I want to reach particularly those who are most vulnerable. So we need that flexibility. We need to restore local governance. We need to restore the norms of our democratic process in the state. And it should be done in the cool light of day. It should be a matter of public discussion and determined by the legislature with a real public debate, because it's time. We all say we want a recovery. Well, recovery means going back to normal. It means restoring the things that we've had, not living in a state of emergency for the rest of our lives. And so I think if you believe in recovery, you should also believe that local governments can manage their own affairs and protect our own people.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I appreciate those comments.
Ooh.